Good morning, everyone. It's Sam McDonough, IFBB Bikini Pro, and 2 of the 4 Bikini Pro shows happened this weekend, and the photos are already posted, so I'm going to talk about them. But first, this is my dog, Ari. He was playing cards last night. Isn't this so cute? You guys, he is the most precious little angel. And then he has these little white eyelashes. I'm so in love with him. And here he was really considering what he should do with this next move. He was playing gin, and he ended up beating me and my boyfriend, and we were so proud. Okay, you guys. So, let's get into it. Okay, so what show are we going to talk about first? Chicago or LA? Let's talk about LA. Okay, so who won LA? Lauren! Congratulations to Lauren! I am so excited for her. I have been following Lauren since she went pro at the Olympia Amateur in 2021 or 2. When did she go pro? Was it? Okay, yeah, 2021. So she was in the top 3 of the Olympia Amateur. And that's how you get your, sorry for that swallow. That's how you get qualified for your pro card at the show. You place top 3 in the overall. And she did just that. So congratulations to Lauren. So exciting. Last year, she was 1 spot away from her pro card. Jeez. Sorry, guys. I'm still really thinking about that picture of Ari. Deep breath. Okay. Lauren was 1 spot away from her Olympia qualification last year, and she got a 3rd place as well. And then this year, she was getting 9th place, 8th place, I think. And then she freaking wins. Okay, 9th place, 8th place, and then wins. So congratulations to Lauren. I'm so excited for her. And let's get into this. Okay, I'm going to put these little babies in the trash, but only because I already have them on my phone. I was just pulling them up to show you guys. Okay, so let's talk about it. Here are, what were my guesses? So here's how the placing shook out. So it was Lauren, Tiana, Fatu, Judy, and then Jewel. And yeah, so we're only going to talk about the top 5. We will talk about top 6 for the Chicago show. So yeah, okay, here we go. So what were my predictions? I said that it was going to be Tiana, Fatu, Tori, Lauren, and Kira. So where do these people actually place? Kira placed in 10th. And of the top 5, I got 1, 2, what'd I get? I got 3 of the top 5, but I did not get it right. So Lauren actually got 1st place, Tiana got 2nd place, Fatu got 3rd, Judy got 4th, and Jewel got 5th. So congratulations to everyone. So let's get into these photos. So first, I will pull up, okay, this is them, right? No, that's Chicago. Okay, it's helpful if I pull these things up in the right order, but it is not necessary, so it's fine. So here is our first call out. I close my eyes and I open them, and when I open them, I am a judge. And what do I see? Are my eyes drawn to anything specific? If so, that is a negative. Okay. So I open my eyes, and what do I see? The pressure feels really on when I open my eyes. I actually feel like I'm in the judge's seat. Okay, so I look at this call out and I think, wow. What do I think first? I think that Tori's lower looks a little bit soft compared to her upper and compared to everyone else on the stage. I think that Jewel looks like she lacks a little hamstring development compared to everyone on the stage. And these are minor things. It's splitting hairs to decide who places where, and it's just very small things that push someone into a lower placing, and that's the judge's whole job. The judge's whole job is to see who has the least flaws on stage. In bikini, you don't want anything to stand out except for someone's actual innate it factor. Anything else that stands out, it means it's distracting. Bikini, you should look at a physique and nothing should stand out. Everything should just look pretty balanced with each other, pretty cohesive. So yeah, if something stands out, like somebody has super impressive shoulders, even if they're impressive, if they are standing out to you, that's probably going to mean that they are out of balance with the rest of their physique. If they have one very impressive body part, then that is distracting and takes away from balance. So, I mean, the line gets a little bit blurred when it's someone's glutes, because impressive glutes are often what sets someone apart getting a higher placing, but that's not totally how it goes. So that's just an example. Okay. So, and then what else do I think? Okay, this girl's arm is a little bit bent. I was trying to find like the perfect photo where everyone is perfectly posed, and I think that's the closest. I think that girl's arm does kind of stay like that. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, who stands out to me? I think that Fatu really stands out to me as far as her conditioning. However, her upper body is a little bit underdeveloped compared to her lower body. Her lower body has a lot more fullness and roundness, and her upper body just looks like a little thin in comparison. She's not thin, but it's like less developed than the muscularity on her lower body. I think Lauren looks very balanced. I think Tiana has Lauren in the waist, but I think Lauren's proportions are similar from top to bottom, and her fullness is pretty even everywhere. I think Tiana does look really, I mean, it's tough because I think Tiana looks really balanced. And if she just had a little more upper outer glute in this front pose like Lauren does, then she could have edged Lauren out. But everyone in this call out, not everyone, the top two look a little more conditioned than the other people on stage, but they also have a little more muscle than the people on stage. So this person, and I will check for her name, she looks as conditioned as the top two, but she doesn't have quite as much muscle as the top two. I see more fullness and roundness in the top two's muscle compared to hers. I think that Lauren and Tiana both have conditioning that matches top to bottom and front to back, and where Fatu loses it a little bit is she looks more conditioned up top than on bottom, and I think that's because she is a little bit fuller in her muscularity on the bottom than she is up top. So she comes in a little tighter looking up top because most women like will lean out and be a lot tighter up top than they are on bottom. So that's where it comes into play, having the same amount of muscle on the top as you do on the bottom, so you look equally as lean everywhere. But yeah. So yeah, I think Lauren and Tiana both have really great hourglass shape. I think that Lauren's is better in the fact that she has really full glutes to match the fullness in her shoulders in this like upper outer specifically. And Tiana has better hourglass shape in terms of her waist shrinking down super tiny. So yeah, I think it's kind of tight in that regard. I do believe Lauren got a perfect score, and then Tiana was 1 point ahead of Fatu. Is that correct? Yeah. So Lauren, it was a exact, total win, and then Tiana and Fatu was a 7 and 8. And this was a muscle contest show, and I'm not saying this is a muscle contest thing. I'm just saying it's worth noting. I think if we're connecting dots that don't even exist, then this could be one of them. But when Tiana won a muscle contest show, the Nevada State show, a few weeks ago, I don't know why I highlighted that. A few weeks ago, she was in a perfect score for first place, and then second and third were also 7 and 8, 1 point apart from each other. Also, I'm kind of cold, so that's why I have this hood on. Okay. So yeah, and then Judy and Jewel were a perfect score for 4th and 5th, and then it looks like so was everyone down the line here except for 7 and 8. So Tori and Cynthia. Okay, so getting back to it, let me pull up that photo again. So yeah, that's kind of what stands out in the front pose. As far as everyone else, so if I were to look at this call out, it would be tight between Lauren and Tiana. I would need to see the back pose. I would probably have to give it to Lauren just because of this glute pop, because it is giving the same proportion with the waist. It is tapering into her waist, even though her waist is a little bit wider than Tiana's. And then I could even see this person being in 3rd place because conditioning matches top to bottom, and and muscularity seems to, whereas Fatu just looks a little bit imbalanced from top to bottom muscularity wise. However, Fatu has a gorgeous look. This is just like, if I were in the judging seat looking at these photos, I'm not seeing this in person, I could see it going that way. And then I would probably have, Judy isn't fully like posed directly at me here, but yeah, I might have. But also, I think conditioning should matter. I think Fatu's conditioning on the lower is more in line with bikini criteria because it's like poppy and soft and not like too hard. So yeah, I could see it going a lot of ways. I could see Lauren, Tiana, and then this person, and then Fatu, even though I think this person's conditioning, it's not exactly over the line, but compared to Fatu, it is harder than Fatu. But I'll say 3, 4, and then maybe even 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's just kind of what I'm thinking when I figure out why people place the way they did. So why do I think the 2 place here? I think their conditioning is more in line with what they want Bikini. And then who was in 4th? Let me see. Sorry, guys. I mean, I guess sorry. I don't even know if I am. Am I? I'm not sure. Okay, you guys. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the back poses. Okay. So that's Chicago again. Okay. And then here's LA. So in the back pose, I think it definitely, I mean, it's hard to say definitely because I think Lauren's shoulders are a little overpowering, like a little more width than her glutes, but Tiana, her shoulders have more width than her glutes do, but she has a little bit less upper outer glute. So yeah, I would give it to Lauren, even though I think Tiana's back pose is freaking incredible. She looks amazing. But Lauren, I think, just has more of that pop in the glutes and the hamstrings than Tiana. So, and sorry if I said Tiana a second ago. Yeah, so I think she just has a little more pop and fullness in her hamstrings and her glutes, and that's probably what edged out Tiana, because I think it's pretty tight between the 2 of them for first place. So yeah, I think, Lauren looks incredible. This back pose is really good. I think this is the best her glutes have looked all season. And I see why her lower specifically would put her in first place. I think their upper is evenly matched, with Lauren being a little bit over the line in terms of muscularity. I think Tiana is a little closer to the Bikini criteria there. But yeah, I think Lauren just gets really a lot of pop in this back pose, and the suit like frames her glutes perfectly. Tan looks great. Makeup, stage presentation, suit color, all great on her. So yeah, Lauren, well-deserved win, of course, and congratulations again. And Tiana, I think this is just like such a striking back pose. Yeah, it's just really good. It's hard not to like stare at Tiana's glutes. Like, the shape is just so gorgeous. I mean, it's just so gorgeous. It's just hard to look away. They're so beautiful. But I think Lauren just has a little more pop. So Tiana, she already knows she's going to be long-term putting on a little more size. She's already going to the Olympia, so congratulations to her. Congratulations to both of them. And they can have a little rematch on the Olympia stage if they want to. So there's that. And then in third place, I think Fatu brings the closest. Okay, not quite. She could be a little tighter in the lower body, but then she would be way too tight up top. But I could see with the amount of fullness in her lower body, if we're just judging lower body, then I could see it being Lauren, Fatu, and then Tiana. I think that's why they're 1 point apart from each other, because Fatu's conditioning on this lower is, I think, a little bit closer to what they want Bikini, if not like maybe a touch soft, whereas Tiana is a touch hard, but that's what she needs to do to get the same pop that Lauren is getting. So yeah, I think that's where it's the tightest, but I think Tiana is a little more developed on top than she is on bottom, and Fatu, it's the inverse. And I think the conditioning Tiana brought edges out Fatu, even though this is a really impressive like amount of projection. I think it could be a little bit tighter. And then in some of her poses, it looked like she was losing hamstring. So yeah, that's just something I will mention. But yeah, I mean, this is really good. This would have been a really hard show to judge. I almost wonder if Tiana can have a little more arch in her low back, or push her torso forward so the width in her shoulders matches more the width in her glutes. So I would be interested in seeing that, like pushing the torso a little bit forward, maybe adding a little more arch. I think Tori's lower body looks really good. It's really spot on with the conditioning, but she's just a little less developed up top. Jewel, I think she's missing some projection in her glutes. So if she could bring her, in her hamstrings, so if she could bring her hamstrings up to match her glutes, then I think that would help her out. But yeah, right now it looks like mainly glutes and shoulders, and I would like to see a little more development across her entire physique to start matching the amount of development she has in her glutes and her shoulders. Yeah, so that's what I think there. And then, Tiana's front pose, because she has been editing that. What do I think about her front pose? Yeah, I think this looks more confident. I think it looks more confident. It does look like maybe she's a little bound up where this pec inserts into her shoulder, because I would just like to see her open up her chest a little bit more, but it looks more confident than last time for sure. So that's a total win. I also think maybe that was my bad. I think she could put her foot more like right here, so it's more hourglassy. It just looks a little bit close, barely close, but like more like the distance Lauren has between her feet. I would like to see on Tiana. Like, I want to see this knee stacked over the I don't know, I don't know. I want to see this stacked over. I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah, I mean, it is going straight down. I think I just want to see the toe more right here, is what I want. Okay, so that is that. Yeah, that's that. So what? Okay, I need to find out what the name of this person is. One sec. Okay, so that is that Alyssa? Yeah, okay, that's Alyssa. And this was her pro debut, so congratulations. Sixth place, your pro debut is amazing. Okay, so what do I think? What else do I think? I think Alyssa is just missing some of the projection in her glutes. So maybe if she could come in fuller, I don't know if that's possible. Like maybe this is the fullest she could come in, but it's just looking like a little bit flattened right here. So if she had more coverage and didn't flex her glute, it almost looks like it's coming from like flexing her glute a little bit, that little cut you see. So yeah, I would like to see the glutes a little bit fuller, more like these other four right here. And then Judy, I would like to see a little more coverage because she doesn't quite have the glute development to warrant this little of a cut. So yeah, with her, I think more projection in her glutes. So yeah, just more density and projection in her glutes. And okay, I think those are all my takes there. Okay, that is an alarm because I am doing someone's makeup today, and it's an alarm to make sure that my kit is ready to do so, but it already is ready. Okay, and now let's go into these photos individually. So I already have everyone pulled up. Okay, so here's Lauren, her front pose and her back pose. So yeah, what do I think Lauren can work on for the Olympia? Her waist looks a lot tighter in this individual photo. Like it looks smaller here than it did in the comparison, and that's kind of what comparisons are for, to like expose. Of course you look great alone, but it will expose what you look like next to other people, and she still won. So congratulations for like the millionth time. I think hair, makeup, and suit is pretty. The lip, I would like to see something a little bit different, but that is pretty. It just looks maybe a little, I don't know, looks a little too pink. But I don't know. It's fine. Like, it looks good. I'm just, nitpicking what she could change for the Olympia. And then the arm, I almost want to see it straighter, but that might make the shoulder pop too much. So I would probably keep this front pose. And then, I don't know, just see what improvements you can make for the Olympia. I think, she just has a lot of clavicle width and a lot of shoulder development, which I think overpowers her lower just a little bit. So I think her stuff is more, or her feedback is more like long-term, building up her glutes a bit, which I think she already knows, so I listen to her podcast. And then one thing I would do is get more coverage so you don't see where the glute attaches to the low back, so it rounds more. But yeah, that's an easy suit thing, and she could pull the suit bottoms up in the front and down in the back, and it would do that framing. So she probably doesn't even need a full new suit bottom. But yeah, the detail in her shoulders, like the lines, are distracting to me, and they don't match the conditioning on the bottom. So I would like to see her like a little bit fuller in these shoulders to match the fullness she has in her lower body. And then long term for her, I would like to see a little more hamstring pop and a little more glute projection. Okay, and then Tiana, I think, okay, yeah, this front pose, that is looking confident to be in. So maybe it was the angle of that comparison photo I was just looking at. Because, yeah, this front pose, the shoulder does look really good. I would still put the foot more like right here, though. That's what I think. Her waist looks crazy. Yeah, Tiana's conditioning matches from top to bottom. She looks incredible. She's glowing. Yeah, I mean, really full of glutes as I think she could get. This trap is distracting me a little bit, so I don't know if she could just cover that with her hair or if it's like a little bit flexed. So it's it's this side, and sometimes a little bit of like scapular winging happens where you don't have as much control on this side, because this is the side that is in the stretched position to bring the elbow around, and this one is more in alignment and sits the way we want it to. So I would like to see the trap not as engaged, but I'm just totally nitpicking. I think this is a really good look. I wonder if she could come in even a little bit fuller than this, but that might sacrifice like her lines and stuff. I would like to see her almost that like Mexico conditioning that I brought up the other day, so you can watch that video if you are curious what I mean. But yeah, I think, yeah, she looks really good. I think she has improved from Nevada, but let's just look at Nevada. I may as well just bring it up. Okay, so here is Nevada. And let's look at her front pose. So here she was. So yeah, she's already improved the front pose. I don't think that's fully posed. But yeah, she already improved the foot positioning, like kicked the foot out a little bit more. So, and she is fuller than Nevada here, and she has fixed the shoulder. So, yeah, I think that these are awesome improvements, and I would just kick that foot even a little bit more forward. And then to pull up her Mexico show again, because I just talked about it, so why not just bring it up? I would love to see like this conditioning again, like this level of softness. So if that's achievable, I'm not sure, but I would love to see. And then the shoulders look perfect here. Like the trap thing isn't a concern for me. So yeah, she looks incredible. Congratulations to Tiana, and I'm excited to see you at the Olympia as a spectator from my home. Okay. And then Fatu. So she looks great. I think she's polished her presentation a lot. So here's her presentation. Okay. So yeah, she looked very confident. Love the big smile. Last time she got a little off balance when she did like a hair flip, and I don't really see her doing a hair flip now, so I think that's good. So yeah, Fatu, she has a tiny freakish waist. It's amazing. She looks fuller than she did at her last show, like all over a little bit fuller. And yeah, I would like to see a little more development in these hamstrings so they pop more, but also I think she just has a little more body fat she could get rid of on the lower, so we would see them pop more if she were leaner, but that would sacrifice the leanness on our upper body, so I would sacrifice like the whole look. So this is probably leanness she could come in with adhering to the criteria the best she could. But yeah, this is a really great look, really full. She could straighten her arms a little bit so they aren't pointing out like this, and so it pops her rear delts more, so if they were more like right here instead of over here, her elbows. But yeah, I think these are great poses. I wouldn't really change anything. She could be a little more profile, but then I would think that would shrink up her upper body too much because she's pretty waist on, but since she has such a tiny waist, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's Fatu. And then we have Judy. So Judy, oh no, that's Judy and Jewel. Okay, so here's Judy, front and back. Yeah, Judy looks great. She has great bikini structure. I would like to see in her face, adorable little smirk. I would like to see more arch in her low back so we get more pop in this upper outer glute. It looks like she's pretty neutral. She's not quite tucked, but she looks pretty neutral, so I'd like to see a little more arch just to give her a more exaggerated hourglass shape. It looks like she's a little bit underposed here, so it makes her look straight up and down, and I'm not getting much cartoonish proportion, which I know she has cartoonish proportion. So let me pull up when she's competed in the past. She competed at Battle of the Bay in December last year. So here is, I think, a better representation of her shape. I think, maybe not actually. Yeah, actually, maybe not. Maybe she does normally pose pretty up and down. So yeah, I would like to see her arch her low back a little bit and snake her waist away a little bit and not push on her stomach so hard because it's causing this wrinkling. And I would like to see a kiss of detail in her abdomen and overall just more of her, so a little more muscle development. The hair and makeup suit all look very pretty, so I wouldn't change anything. Tan looks really good too. And then her back pose. Yeah, just more glute projection and a little more coverage on these bottoms is exposing a lack of depth. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, she has great structure. It's just a matter of more muscle. Like, her shoulders look like they're there in the back pose and probably even in the front pose. Maybe could have a little more fullness, but I think she's very balanced from top to bottom with the amount of muscle she does have. So she doesn't need, like, more front delt or anything for this show. Like, she looks as balanced as she can in the front and the back. But could use a little more upper outer so the back is even more balanced. Okay, and then we have fifth place, which is Jewel. So here's Jewel. It looks like there were some tanning issues, so I would just say, eating out the tan more. And this front pose is really, really good. I wouldn't change anything about her front pose. I think the pink works for her. I wish the suit fit a little better. It looks like a little bit short, so I would like, a little more coverage. Waist looks crazy. Her shape is really good. Hair looks really good. If not a little bit too close to the tan color in the back pose, but it looks nice. Hair and makeup look nice too, or makeup looks nice too. So I think the thing my eye goes straight to her quad, like this beautiful fullness she has and the fullness she has in her glute, but I don't really see any hamstring. So actually a tweak she could make to see a little more hamstring would be angling the toe more at a 45. So we see a little of the hamstring drop because right now she looks a little quad dominant. I don't think her quads are necessarily overdeveloped. I think her hams are just a little underdeveloped. So I would probably like to see another layer of size all over. So like more lat, more density in the upper body, maybe a little more like chest development. Not like a chest split necessarily, but like a little more fullness. and the shoulders look a little bit tight. So if she could just be a little full, a little more full, I would like that. Hair should be like an inch shorter so it doesn't touch the soup bottom, I think. More coverage on the bottom for the same reasons I said about Judy. It looks like she's pinching her shoulder blades together, so if she could just open them nice and wide, that would be great. But she has an incredible bikini look. I think it's just about putting on a little more muscle like it is for most people. And she could not squat into the pose as much. She could just stand up a little taller, not pinch the shoulder blades, and I think that would totally change her shape. So I would like to see her compete again doing those things. But I think it's going to be a long-term goal of just putting on more size, and that's what it is for everyone. So yeah, just more hamstring pop would be good to match the glutes, because right now it looks like glutes and then quads. Okay, so that is LA. So congratulations everyone at LA. Let's get into Chicago. So congratulations to Kate Carroll for qualifying again for the Olympia. Very happy for her. And let's look at these comparisons. So in first place we had Kate, second Savannah, third Marie, fourth Savannah Watchman, fifth Jessica. So great to see her back in that first call out. And then in sixth we had Jody, and then seventh, I don't know who that is. Oh, Vanessa Guzman. No, that's not even Vanessa Guzman. Unless she wore red at the... Is that her? Yeah, because it's not Juliana. And it's not Samantha, is it? No. Okay, so she must have worn red at... That's her, right? I mean, I don't know who else it would be, but I'm just, like, kind of shook. Okay, did she wear red at a different show? Okay, no, that is her, though. I think. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to assume, honestly. Okay, so we'll just say that. But we're going to talk about our top 6. So, I close my eyes, I open them, what do I see? Okay, so my eye immediately goes to Marie Eve. I am struck by her look, I'm obsessed, but even though I think she has the most eye-catching look and most hourglass proportion, I think she just lacks a little bit of hamstring development. It looks like mainly glutes and then just leg, but I would like to see more hamstring development. So that is a little bit of a miss for me. It just takes away from balance and overall muscularity. And then my eye then goes to Kate, because I think Kate brings the most similar conditioning to what is being awarded going to the Olympia. Like, her fullness is really good, complexion looks really good, like meaning the tan is glowing, hair, makeup, suit, I think look great on her. So yeah, my eye goes to her. I would probably be like looking at Marie and Kate for top 2, but I think that's just based on like personal preference of how struck I am by Marie's like physique wow factor. I do think Savannah Dolezal is a little bit more conditioned the way they want in Bikini, and just has a little more balance in her muscularity a little bit. But I think it's pretty tight between them. Like, I think Savannah needs a little more hamstring development, too, and a little more glute development. But her legs are pretty much imbalanced. It's hard because I think they both need more hamstring development. So, yeah, okay, we'll look at the pictures, but yeah, I think Kate, it does strike the best balance for the Bikini, like, conditioning they want. I think she has nailed it with the conditioning, and I think Savannah's conditioning is pretty close to Kate's, so I see why Savannah got in second place. I really like Savannah. I think the makeup could be a little bit darker. It just looks a little bit white against the tan. So yeah, and then what else do I see when I look at this? I think Jody looks like the odd man out. Her conditioning is just a little tight, but she does have a lot of wow factor with her physique. I think the same thing about that shoulder, like how it's open too much and showing a lot of like her tricep in her front pose. And then what else? Yeah, Savannah Watchman I think looks absolutely incredible. I'm happy to see her getting in the top 5 again. Yeah, Savannah just looks really, really, really good to me. So yeah, if I were to like do my top based on just this photo, it would probably be, even though I think Marie and Savannah's proportions are more eye-catching, I would probably put Kate, Marie, Savannah Watchman, Savannah Dolezal, and then keep Jessica and Jody in their places that they made it. So 5th and 6th. Okay, and then, okay, what else? Do I have anything else to say? I feel like I say the same things every time, so I don't know. I just feel like I need to make my videos more interesting or something. Okay, yeah, but no, that's what I think. I think Marie's tan is a little bit light too. I think I'm pretty taken aback by Marie's physique, so I overlooked the tan, but I think the tan's a little bit light. Her tan is always a little bit light. Okay, and then back pose. I think Marie's hair looks perfect. Kate's hair looks perfect. I would like to see a brush run through Savannah, both the Savannah's hair. And if this is Vanessa Guzman, is that what I said? Probably her too. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I love that Jessica Dolius went back to long hair though. I love her short hair on her, but it does just like reveal how developed her upper body is. So it makes her look out of balance, which is kind of distracting. So I'll show you what I mean. So yeah, the long hair I think is a great move for her, even though I'm sure she likes rocking her short hair. So this is her short hair earlier this season, way earlier this season. She's been competing for a while. So yeah, I think it just shows how developed her upper body is. And makes her look out of balance. So I love that she went with short hair. Long hair, great choice. So in the back pose, I think Kate looks very balanced from top to bottom. This shoulder looks a little more pent up than the other one, and I think it's for the same reason that I was talking about with like how this one is in a stretch position in her front pose. At least I think that's the one, right? Yeah, that's the one. So that arm is going to be more relaxed. So yeah, the back pose, I think that this is where Savannah edges out what's her name? Marie. I think Savannah does look to have more pop in her hamstrings than Marie, and Marie just looks like glutes sitting on top of the legs. I think Savannah looks a little more developed overall, so I would also put her in second place based on this back pose. Kate Carroll looks great, like almost unclockable. I think that she could make her stance a little bit more narrow, just barely, just where her feet are directly under her shoulders. They just look a tiny bit far apart, but the suit fits her glutes perfectly. Her glutes are super round. She has that indication of the tie-in without like an etching of the tie-in, and then just even out the upper body in this back pose. So this one isn't sticking out and this one is where it should be. Savannah Dolezal, yeah, I think she looks incredible. A lot of pop. I would like the hair to cover the back because it just makes her balance look a little bit less, like because you see so much detail in the back because the hair is not covering it, and you don't see that amount of detail in the bottom. But yeah, I would do 1, 2, 3. And then I would also put Savannah Watchman in fourth, just because I don't know if it's just a tanning issue, but she just doesn't look as poppy in the glutes as the top 3 do. So yeah, I would like to see a little more pop. And also the purple is pretty, but it's not like my fave. And I think the front pose could have like a little bit more coverage, in the top, but the makeup looks really pretty. Hair, I just think a brush could be run through, and Savannah is just getting better and better, so I'm excited to see. I really hope she qualifies. I think that she, like I said in my last video, I think she's been like overlooked a little bit, which I hate to say because it means that like, you know, I'm not trying to put everyone else down who placed ahead of her. I'm just saying, like, I think she has such great bikini shape. And not only that, the muscularity to support it. If anything, she sometimes looks a little harder up top than she does on bottom. And I think she's just a little more muscularly developed on the top. But it's so slight. And we see other people doing better than her that have the same issue. Like Savannah Dolezal, for instance. She's more defined up top than she's on bottom. But she's still placing above Savannah Watchman, who I think has the same issue. And I think Savannah Watchman has a little bit more of that hourglassy shape. Because Savannah Dolezal's front pose still like has that little sloping downward in the shoulders. We'll get into that. But I mean, not to take away from Savannah Dolezal. I really like her. I'm not trying to, say anything like that. But just trying to talk about why I think people place the way they do. And I think Savannah Dolezal has better pop and bikini conditioning than Savannah Watchman. So I can see why she would place second again. Okay. And then, yeah, I already talked about Marie. I think the balance in her upper body is really good. And just needs some more hamstrings. Savannah Watchman, I already talked about her. And then in fifth place, we have Jessica Dolius. Jessica Dolius has an incredible back pose, super poppy glutes, super poppy hamstrings. I think it's just with her, she's a little more developed up top than she is on bottom. And her structure just isn't as striking as the people who have been placing ahead of her. But she always brings a pretty, like, balanced, I mean, okay, not always. She's a little more developed on top than she is on bottom, which she can manipulate with posing. But I think some other people just have like a better structure for bikini because Jessica has a shorter torso, which can sometimes make her waist look a little bit blockier. Even though it's super like tight and snatched. So yeah, I don't know. Savannah just looks really, not Savannah, sorry. Jessica's looks really good. I'm not trying to take anything for her. I'm just, saying what I'm seeing. That sounds like a cop out, but hopefully you know what I mean. And the hair I think looks really sleek, looks really good. And then yeah, Jody for me, it's just like one is not like the other. She's just tighter than everyone else who placed ahead of her. So I think if she could balance fullness, relax the arm in her front pose, then that would help her out. But her back pose is super striking. You just see more dugout hamstrings on her and on Jessica, and you don't see that in the people who placed ahead of them. So, okay. And now let's get into our top people. So here's Kate. Again, I think she just needs to even out her back pose so her arms are in the same position, but this muscularity is beautiful. Yeah, same posing things I already said with her stance and with her upper body, but like suit is really pretty, hair and makeup are really pretty. The suit looks really pretty in the back. The top, I don't love how the light reflects off the velvet, but I do think light blue is a good color for her. But if she used like a just matte light blue or just a holographic light blue instead of velvet, I think that would look better. Tan looks perfect. I think, yeah, just bring a similar look to the Olympia. Maybe she could be a little fuller in the upper body. She has a lot more vascularity up here than she does on bottom. So yeah, if she get her glutes fuller in the front pose by then and fill out her upper body by then, that would be awesome. But it might be a long-term thing. Just a little more muscle up top and a little more in that upper outer glute. But congratulations to Kate. And then Savannah. So yeah, she's just getting better and better. I think she is just a little bit, she isn't sloping off as much. Now she's kind of sloping back this way. I would like to see her turn her upper body away slightly and have a little less bend in this knee. It just doesn't look like she's just standing there, and that's what I want to see. And I want to see her knee, stacked directly over the ground, just going straight down instead of kind of angling in. But yeah, she looks incredible. Her conditioning is really, really good. Her conditioning is totally on point for the amount of muscle she has. And yeah, just more depth to the foundation I think would be helpful. And the fullness of the glutes is really good. This back pose looks really, really good. Like her placement of her arms and everything like makes her rear delts pop. A little more coverage with her hair on her upper back I think would be nice. But yeah, she looks incredible. So hopefully she qualifies for the Olympia very soon. And then Marie, I'm obsessed with Marie. What do I think? Same things. Tan could be a little darker. Hair, makeup look great. Suit, beautiful color on her. Waist is super tight. Cartoonish proportion. Just needs some more hamstrings so the glute doesn't overpower the rest of the leg. I think that's a similar situation to Brittany Gillespie, except for Marie brings more bikini-like conditioning than Brittany. She's just not as tight as Brittany. So I think that's good. And then the purple suit, yeah, I do think it's pretty. I think it could just have more coverage. And I think it could stand out on her more like a dark purple like Marie Eve wore to Sasquatch in 2022 when she got third. More like this color I think would be really nice on Savannah. And then, yeah, I would like to see the tan be a little bit more even. The shape is crazy. It's crazy bikini shape. And a little more hamstring would be good. And upper outer glute in the back pose, I guess. But I think that could be fixed. I think if her suit rounded her glutes better, then I wouldn't be saying more upper outer glute. But I think, yeah, this cut is just not quite as flattering. It's almost going pointy, and I want it to be heart-shaped. And I want to see the little point of the little V up top framing her glutes and that heart shape. But the front pose is really good. Back pose is good. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of like keep doing shows, keep refining the suit cut a little bit, gaining more confidence on stage. And yeah, I mean, she already looks, I'm not saying she doesn't look confident, but I mean, those are some things that everyone could always improve. Okay, here's Jessica. So Jessica, yeah, her waist is super tight, crazy shape. Conditioning looks really, really good. She could relax this back shoulder a little bit, but I'm totally nitpicking. Like, this looks really good. I think she's just a little more dug out in the hamstrings, but if she arched more and pushed her torso a little bit forward, I think she would fill out this space just with posing. I don't think it's like a lack of muscle. I think she looks really, really incredible. And I don't love the dark lining or the dark almost trim on the suit. I think a suit that just like popped off the tan more would be helpful because she is looking a little bit harsh with like the I know prejudice against piercings, but like a little harsh with the eyebrow ring, the dark eyeshadow, dark hair, skin looks a little bit light compared to all that, and then the suit is also dark. So I love a gothic vibe. I just think that like a more saturated red would be better, one that doesn't have any of these dark stones. Yeah, more like a poppy red. But yeah, looks great. I think if she arched more, she'd get more upper outer glue too. And then in sixth place, Jodie, welcome back. Great to see her on stage again. And I would just say, same thing with this arm. It just looks like I see a lot of this tricep because she's almost like opening her shoulder, like rounding it open too much. I don't love the teal velvet on anyone. It's not anything personal against Jodie. I just think it reflects poorly. Like literally, like reflects in a way that doesn't look good. Because it almost looks like whitish and washes the physique out and like sits on top of you and wears you instead of you wearing it. So that's what I think just in general when I see these like light velvet fabrics, like the light blue Kate's wearing, this light teal. Her shape is really good. You just see everything. You just see like these grooves in the leg, like these deep grooves. You see a lot of this vascularity in the legs. In the arms, it's just like too hard. The glutes look really good, but even those are really etching in, and the hamstrings are like pretty dug out. So if she could just soften up this conditioning all over. It's her first show with this new coach, so I'm sure she can get that sorted out quickly. Last year I think it was like her first show or second show back that she just won and then went to the Olympia. So let's see. Yeah, she got second and then she got a first place. So I think the same thing will happen this year. I think she'll probably qualify at the next show she does. It's just a matter of softening up. So now they know what she looks like all the way lean. They fill her out a little bit and then I think she wins the show. So good luck to Jodie. Okay, let me know what you think down below. We have 2 more shows that we'll be recapping, which are Taiwan and Colombia. And then what were my guesses for the placings at this show? So I guessed that Chicago would be Marie, Jodie, Priscilla. Priscilla didn't end up in there. Savannah Watchman in 4th, so I got Savannah right. And then in 5th, Savannah Dolezal. So of the top 6, I got 4 of them. Of the top 5, I got 3 of them. So yeah, let me know what you think and have a great day. Bye.